What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your flying locomotive and faster than a speeding bullet SuperCliff, coming at you live with a brand new video. And for today's majestic and fantastic video, we'll be punching our way back into the world of Zdarsky's Daredevil, issue number 6. Before we jump into everything that is Daredevil and Catholicism, just kidding, we ain't gonna touch that shit with a 10-foot pole. If you are new to the channel, then smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on anything that happens on this majestic channel. And because we managed to cross over 1,000 subs, let's raise the bar and go full on Super Saiyan as we try to get 50 more subs before the end of 2022. So yeah, don't be rude. It's free, folks. It's the price of admission. Don't be a nerd. Show some class. Hit that subscribe button. Thus, without further ado, let's dive into everything that is Daredevil issue number 6. Our story picks up during Leonard Samson's one-on-one therapy sessions with a batch of supercriminals, whom Daredevil and those among the Fist had liberated from the Murderian prison in the previous issue. And while Samson is having these one-on-one sessions with the villains like Stiltman, Bullet, and Stegron, during Agony's session, she starts to get angry, and she immediately lashes out, smashing Samson through a wall. But luckily Daredevil shows up, and he manages to calm everything down. And upon showing Agony kindness, care, and love, Agony is able to chill out. Now, while it's obvious that Daredevil, is trying to essentially rehabilitate the criminals, given the fact that the American justice system sucks and has failed them time and time again, off to the side, we have Buck Cashman, aka Bullet, and he thinks the whole thing is bullshit. For him, he doesn't buy the fact that Daredevil is trying to really help people out, because in the grand scheme of things, the convicts, they only traded one prison for another. It's not like they can just go home. And even if they're able to stop the hand, the US government is going to give a shit. Because from their point of view, who the fuck cares about red wearing ninjas? And so Bullet knows that Daredevil must have already thought about this. Therefore, maybe deep down, Matt doesn't actually care. Maybe he's just, saying this, but, he can just kind of, keep living day by day. And maybe he's just using the villains as soldiers for his war. And so from there, Bullet leaves Matt. Yet we get the sense that Bullet just made a very solid point, regardless if Matt believes it or not. Which of course leaves Matt frustrated and, starts striking against the bowls and the silverware on the table, like any person does, as an adult. Picking up on the other side of the globe, Elektra is shown to be arriving in Paris on the night before a United Nations conference, for she's here to investigate a conspiracy, folks, that the Hand have managed to kill leaders of the free world by banishing their souls to hell, only to replace them with reanimated corpses and to be used as, puppets essentially for the Hand. And so with that, we see Elektra breaking into the private suite of the president. However, that's when we see the arrival of Iron Man, who's been seemingly biding his time ever since Daredevil had committed to his mass breakout session at the Murdock. Thus, Tony aims his repulsor lasers at Elektra, ordering her to shut up and to get away from the president. But as always the case, whenever Stark's involved with, diplomacy, it doesn't work. And with that, the fight breaks out between Iron Man and the Woman Without Fear. However, Elektra manages to subdue Stark with his own technology, via her upgraded twin Says, which of course back in the previous run, Tony built those for her so that she can use them against Bullseye, and thus her steel penetrates his armor, giving Elektra the much needed upper hand. Picking back out with Matt, we check up with our hero walking and talking with Stick, and right now, they're just spending some time together, supervising the training of the inmates. Now the old man lets Daredevil know that if the Hand have truly taken control of the world leaders and are using Frank Castle to act as the head of the dragon, the Fist may need to make their move sooner rather than later. Given the fact that the Punisher is a freaking psycho and whenever he's on the roll, things just start to spread like wildfire. But Daredevil is in the mindset that they need to continue with the rehabilitation process of the inmates, because at the end of the day, the convicts need to be able to make their own choices. They need to be free in order to join the Fist and to be truly committed. However, Stick reminds Matt that there is still one prisoner remaining, who Daredevil has been ignoring since the breakout, and so much so to the point of not even removing his inmate's inhibitor collar. And with that, we pick up later on with Matt paying a visit to the man who claims to be his guardian angel, the one who's been pulling his strings, the one who's been inspiring Daredevil to be a better hero through terrible, terrible means. And that, of course, is, Goldie. And it's here where he tries to convince Matt to take off Power Dampener so that his supposed angel status can help Daredevil get back on track with becoming the greatest hero imaginable. But Daredevil lets him know that, yeah, you can kiss my ass because I'm never going to release you. You're here for torture purposes only. And right now, for the first time in my life, I actually feel free. I don't feel controlled, and nothing will ever change that. Picking back up with Elektra, we see her approaching the president, And here she confirms that the conspiracy is true, for the President of the United States is already dead, and right now his reanimated corpse is being used as the Hand's puppet. And seeing that there's no way out of the situation, the President jumps out of the window. And although Elektra tries to save him, she's unable to do so in time. And from there, the body falls to its death. And with Elektra landing on top of it, it paints a pretty terrible picture to the world media that Daredevil has assassinated the President of the United States. Hashtag WTF Twitter trend. It's going to happen, folks. We know it's going to happen. Elsewhere, picking up at the Hand's base of operations, Aka is informing Frank Castle that she's located the representing escapees, and that they are currently residing with Daredevil and Elektra on the Fists Island. And thus it's here, folks, where the King of the Hand orders Aka to ready up his army. Because it's here where the Punisher suits up, for he is readying himself for war. He is prepping his swords and guns to punish those serving the Fist once and for all. And that, folks, was the end of Daredevil, issue number 6. And thank you guys for checking out my video, as it truly, truly means the world to me. So I really like where the comic is going. I like the themes Chip is bringing to the table, and I like the fact that the comic does a really good job in showcasing how those who work within the justice system, and even those who are among the superhero community, aren't really effective when it comes to reforming villains. And a great spokesman for this take is the character of Bullet. And hot damn on a stick, who would have thought that in a million years, a D-list supervillain who fought Daredevil named Bullet would be the one to bring up such a valid point to Matt? Like, who would have thought that? And I also love seeing the humanity that Matt is showing in a comic. And just, seeing Bullet call his bullshit is pretty great. I'm sure that Matt, he really wants to help and reform the criminals, but we all know that he's only doing this because, he's going to go up against the Hand eventually. And because of that, he needs reinforcements. But what if he wasn't? What if none of this was actually happening? Would Daredevil have done what he had done? Would he have broken out some criminals from the Murdock in prison? Probably not. And that's why Bullet was calling him out, because it's very obvious that Matt is really just doing this just for himself. And seeing the realization of this, it's fantastic. And that's the sort of Catholic guilt that's being put on full display. And that's great writing. The comic also does a great job with character moments as well. You got Bullet, having his own voice, Cole North and Fancy Dan building rapport with each other. It's great stuff. But I think that has me wondering, with the Punisher about to, be making his move, is he going to kill the villains who maybe we've never cared for prior, but maybe we're starting to care for now? That seems to be the case because Chip Zdarsky knows how to fuck with people's emotions. So that's pretty cool. And, he's a good writer, and that's what, writing is supposed to do. And, but yeah, Chip, please don't do it, because, I love Fancy Dan. I've been a fan of his group since issue number 10 of Amazing Spider-Man. They're so stupid, but I kind of love them. So don't kill him, please. But yeah, as always, I'm your majestic sayer of words, SuperCliff. And if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also the notification bell so you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for issue number 7? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace. Giggity goo.